got a lot of respect for those guys. They got talent in all areas. With the acquisition and recent use of Hunt, man, their backfield tandem with he and Nick-Chubb is going to be a big challenge. And I think if you're talking about their offense, man, we better start there. Chubb's almost got 1,000 yards on the season. If you don't slow him down, there's no need to talk about the wide receiver tandem and things you need to do to minimize their impact on the game. All you got to do is look at the Baltimore tape to have an understanding of that. We better minimize the running game and what that guy brings and what Hunt potentially brings, and not only those guys individually, but increasingly so of late, the use of both of them. And looking at the Buffalo tape with both of those guys employed in the game at the same time is particularly challenging, and I would imagine as Hunt is more available to him, that package is going to continue to grow. We're going to have to defend some things in that package this week that we didn't even see on Buffalo tape, but such is life, so we got some work ahead of us there. Landry and Beckham, they're from a talent standpoint, there's no tandem that approaches those guys. They're impactful. Both guys are the type of guys that merit the type of attention that we gave Cooper Kupp last week. But you can't provide that for both guys and work to minimize Nick Chubb in the run game and so forth. So we gotta pick our poison, if you will. We got some tough decisions to make, not only just globally, but in-game and situationally in terms of the things that we do to work to minimize their many weapons. And couple that with the fact that they got Baker-Mayfield behind the center, we got some challenges in terms of minimizing them, particularly in their environment, where they get an opportunity to communicate and use cadence as a weapon and do all the things that offenses do in a home environment. So we got some work there. On the other side of the ball, they got talent at every level. Obviously, Myles-Garrett is where you start. Top draft pick and 10-sack man. They move him around up front. We got to do a great job of not only protecting, but we also better do a really good job of making quick decisions and getting the ball out on rhythm. That's complicated because they got some really talented guys on the back end. Guys like Ward and Greedy Williams, man, are first-round type talents, obviously first-round players and graded as such. And, they're capable of staying really close. They're good in man-to-man coverage. They're using a lot of guys at safety, some veteran guys, Morgan-Burnett, Randall, are very versatile. They're capable of playing in deep defense. Both guys are capable of spinning down into the box and be it zone or man. They just got a lot of flexibility in that secondary. And so that makes that process of making quick reads and distributing the ball quickly before the sand runs through the hourglass with guys like Myles-Garrett hunting you up front, a troublesome thing.
All right, hold on. This portion of More Sports and Les-Levine brought to you by Northeast Factory Direct. Okay, we've heard and seen Mike Tomlin 2 times a year for as long as he's been here.
Let me preface that by saying I love Mike Tomlin. I wish he were the coach of the Cleveland Browns.
This is the first time you listen to him, and he sounds legitimately concerned about playing the Cleveland Browns, which we haven't seen in how many years?
He spoke of the Browns as if the Browns were undefeated and had a guaranteed all-pro at every single position.
72 Dolphins.
In other words, he was doing his best Lou Holtz impression. Holtz, who loved to pump up the other team, and then he would go tell his team, hey, that team's overrated. Who overrated him, Lou? Oh, I did. I mean, come on, Mike. We know the record of the Browns is 3-6, but I mean, I love.
You know what?
Tomlin.
He also has to move over and take his notes and say, now, what do I have to say here?
Yeah, he probably had his crib notes, and in one sense, though, it is kind of indicting when he mentions all the talent, and you say, okay, assuming he believes what he says, why are they 3-6?
Well, he also brought up the term home environment. What does home environment mean to you? Because I think it means something different to you.
Family room with the fireplace and a remote?
Yeah, no, I think it means something different to you and I as it does to Baker Mayfield. Because I don't think I've ever heard a quarterback, the home field advantage is all about noise. And if you don't want noise in there because it's so intricate, have your right guard or left tackle come up from a stance and wave the crowd down a little bit.
Yeah. Listen, I wouldn't have picked that hill to fight on if I were Bake, especially now that the rest of the league gets indication of that. So they'll bring, when they're visitors, they'll bring their fans in and make nothing but noise.
And by the way, many of the fans were Buffalo Bills fans.
Yeah, and that was part of the problem. But listen, I have no issues with Mayfield and his histrionics, his commercials, his shaving, as long as he plays well. When he doesn't play well, all bets are off.
D-Man.